They laughed at your tears, called your pain weakness, and treated your struggles like a punchline in their twisted game. They whispered behind your back, mocking every stumble, every failure. To them, it was all a joke, a way to feel powerful at your expense. But here's the thing about life. It has a way of flipping the script. The tables always turn, and when they do, the people who once played the villain find themselves face to face with the very pain they inflicted. What they didn't realize is that every cruel word, every betrayal was sharpening you, hardening you, and preparing you for the moment you'd rise. And now, their laughter fades, their confidence crumbles, because karma doesn't knock. It kicks the door in, uninvited and unstoppable. So ask yourself, what happens when the predator becomes the prey? When the shadows they cast start following them instead? This isn't about revenge. It's about justice, the kind that comes naturally when the universe demands balance. You're about to see what it truly means when they learn, too late, that their fun was always destined to end. Are you ready to witness the reckoning they never saw coming? They thought your pain was entertainment. Every tear you shed, every moment you broke, became their fuel. They smirked as you struggled, mocked your dreams, and found joy in your darkest hours. To them, it was a game. A game where they always held the upper hand, where you were the target and they pulled the strings. But here's the thing about games. Every player thinks they're in control until the rules change, and the rules always change. You see, life has a way of turning the tables when you least expect it. The power they held over you was never permanent. But they didn't see that. They didn't see the storm brewing inside you, the strength quietly building beneath the surface. While they laughed, you were learning. While they mocked, you were growing. And now, that storm is ready to break free. But this story isn't just about your rise. It's about their fall. Because the pain they once dished out has a way of coming back around. The same weight they placed on your shoulders, it's finding its way to theirs. And when it does, the reality they avoided, their own weakness, their own flaws, will hit harder than they ever imagined. So, what happens now? They'll learn the hard way that the fun they had at your expense comes with a cost. And that cost? It's more than they ever bargained for. This isn't revenge. It's the universe setting things right. And when it does, you'll be standing tall, no longer the victim, but the victor they never saw coming. They thought it was funny, didn't they? Watching you struggle. They mocked your every misstep, laughed at your failures, and reveled in your pain. To them, you were nothing but a joke, a pawn in their game of power. And for a while, you let them have it. You took it all in silence, not because you wanted to, but because you felt trapped, helpless, in a world that seemed to enjoy watching you fall. Every insult, every setback, each crushing blow you endured. They thought it was entertainment, but they didn't see the toll it took on you. They didn't see the rage that was quietly building inside you, waiting for its moment to break free. The truth is, there comes a point in every person's life when they reach their breaking point, a moment when the weight of the world becomes unbearable. And when that happens, you have two choices: stay crushed under that weight or rise. But rising isn't easy. Not when they've broken you down so much that you badly recognize the person you used to be. Not when the scars they've left on your soul seem too deep to heal. Every time you've tried to rise before, they've knocked you down again, reminding you that you don't belong at the top. They keep you in your place with their words, their actions, their cruelty. You start to believe them. You start to believe that maybe you're not strong enough, that you're not capable of escaping this cycle. But here's the kicker. They thought it was fun, but they never understood the power of your silence, the power of your struggle. They never saw that each time you fell, you learned. Each time they tore you down, you built yourself back up a little stronger. And while they were busy enjoying your misery, you were becoming something far more dangerous than they could ever imagine. Because they can't break someone who knows what it's like to be broken. And when you finally understand that, when you realize that you've been stronger than they could ever hope to be, it's game over. For them, not you. Something shifted. One day, you woke up and realized you were no longer the person they thought you were. You stopped feeling sorry for yourself. You stopped letting their words have power over your life. You began to understand something crucial. They weren't laughing at you because you were weak. They were laughing at you because they were terrified of what you'd become when you finally realized your own strength. They underestimated you. They didn't know that every time they knocked you down, you didn't crumble. Every insult, every failure was a lesson, and you had been learning, even when they thought you were broken. You were growing quietly and patiently, becoming stronger with every moment of hardship. What they didn't see, what they failed to understand, was that every setback added fuel to the fire inside you. You weren't just surviving anymore. You were evolving. At first it was small. The whispers in your head became a little louder. You are enough. You deserve better. You were not powerless. It felt strange, but you clung to it like a lifeline. And slowly, you started taking action. You stopped letting the negativity and judgment dictate your worth. You started to fight back, not with your fists, but with your actions, your mindset, your resilience. You realized that it wasn't about them anymore. It was about you. It was about stepping into the person you were always meant to be, the version of yourself that no one could break or control. And once that realization hit, there was no turning back. The fear that once paralyzed you, gone. The doubts that haunted you, shattered. The voices that told you that you weren't enough, drowned out by your newfound power. The transformation wasn't instant. It didn't happen overnight. It was a slow burn, but the flame kept growing into a blaze of determination and strength that nothing could stop. You learned how to take control of your own story, to shape your own destiny. You stopped seeking validation from those who had only tried to tear you down. Instead, you found validation in yourself. You looked at your reflection and saw someone who had been through hell and come out stronger. Someone who wasn't afraid anymore. The people who once mocked you, who thought you were a joke, are starting to notice the change. They see the fire in your eyes now, the fire they never thought you had. They see the quiet confidence in the way you carry yourself, and that's when the fear hits them. They're afraid, not because you've become a monster, but because they see the truth now. You were always stronger than they ever imagined. You were always capable of this power. What they failed to realize, what they never saw, was that you weren't just surviving anymore. You were transforming. You were becoming unstoppable. And this version of you, the new, stronger, more resilient you, was just getting started. This is it. The moment they've all been waiting for. The moment you've been waiting for. The time when the tables turn and you show them what you've become. They thought they could keep you down, keep you small, keep you hidden in the shadows, but they were wrong. They didn't know what you were capable of. They didn't know what you were building inside of you all along. Now, it's time to confront them, face to face. The ones who laughed at you, the ones who tried to break you, the ones who thought they could control your every move. They believed they could steal your power, make you doubt yourself, turn you into someone you weren't. But now, you're no longer the victim. You're no longer the one they can manipulate or belittle. You walk into the room and they feel the shift in the air. They see the change in you. You're not shaking. You're not apologizing. You're standing tall, unshaken, untouchable. And in that moment, they feel it. They realize something they never expected. You're not afraid anymore. You're done with being their punching bag, their afterthought. You're here to reclaim your life. You look them dead in the eyes, and you don't need to say a word. The power you carry now speaks volumes. They see it. They know it. You're not playing their game anymore. You've moved beyond their level. And the weight of their cruelty, their judgment, their manipulation has no hold on you. But they still try. They still think they can break you. They throw insults. They belittle you. They attack you in every way they know how. But this time, you don't back down. This time, you don't flinch. You smile, not out of mockery, but because you finally understand something they never will. You understand your own strength. And just like that, it's over. The cycle ends. They thought they had control, but they never did. Because you never needed them to define you. You've finally broken free. You've won. And they will never forget the day they thought it was all a game. Until it was their turn to feel what it's like to be unstoppable. You stand there, breathing deeply, fully aware of the power that now flows through you. This isn't the same version of yourself you once were. That person who was broken, discarded, underestimated. They no longer exist. What you see in the mirror today is a force forged through every challenge, every betrayal, and every struggle. You've been shaped by fire, and now you burn brighter than ever. As the dust settles, you realize this is the moment you've been waiting for, not the end, but the beginning. You're no longer at the mercy of anyone's opinion, no longer bound by the chains they tried to wrap around you, their words, their actions. They were meant to tear you down, but instead, they've only pushed you higher. Every attempt to break you only made you stronger. Every setback became the foundation of your comeback. You've learned that true power doesn't come from external validation. It's not something they can give you or take away. It's the strength you find in yourself. The relentless drive to keep moving forward, no matter the odds. You've shed the weight of their doubt, their negativity, and now you stand tall, unshaken, unstoppable. Now you're not just a survivor, you're a warrior. And this world will know the full extent of your power. The ones who tried to bring you down, they'll watch in awe as you rise to heights they can only dream of. This isn't the end. This is your beginning. And with that, you step into a new chapter of your life, fully aware of the strength you hold within. The power is yours now, and nothing will ever be the same. If you have enough of being held back and are ready to step into your power, hit like, subscribe, and join me on this journey. Comment below with the challenge you've conquered, and let's rise together. Don't wait for validation. Create your own path and make them watch as you rise.